Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
What's going on, people? This is Inflewence, and today I have Inquisitor Fanstoys FT-61, which is their masterpiece version of a Scourge. And it's fantastic. It's great. Big old backpack. If you don't like that, well, I don't know what to tell you. It is it's not just a shell former. I was gonna say it is a shell former. You know, all Scourges is mostly shell formers. You can't get away from that, I don't think. Like, if you can, I don't know who can. Two people done tried it, and it's hard. It's a space boat, or a space, I don't know what it is. Looks like a boat, but it flies in space. He looks like a vampire. So, yeah, it's a hard figure to get away from having a shell. But I do like what Fanstoys did with the transformation. It looks way harder than it is. I know I say that a lot. Literally, though, it is. It's once you get it and know what you're doing, there's a few tricky spots, but it's pretty straightforward. And I love how they condensed this to get smaller, like the mass shifting that they did, which they often do. And the involved transformation is the price you pay for cartoon accuracy in both modes. It's really great though. Paint is top notch. Of course, it's Fanstoys, but sometimes they can be a little lackluster with the paint department lately. However, this is not. Even the headmaster, what am I talking about? The Targetmaster is a great thing. Like, the Targetmaster is great. Spoiler alert, it doesn't fit in his hand. I've seen people say that in some of the groups, and I haven't watched anything but I did watch Fanstoys review, and I watched a little bit of Pake just to see one part of the transformation, because I didn't think I was doing it right. So he was very he's always helpful. Like, Peg is usually, he usually knows what he's doing. He usually gets the figures early. So he does his live streams. Check him out if you haven't done so. So shout out to him for helping me with a couple parts, just some minor parts. I didn't watch any of his review though. I do want to. As you know, I try not to watch anything before my review. So what we do. Accessories. You see him holding the gun. I already told you can't hold his Targetmaster. So first accessory is the gun. Nice looking gun. Folds up. Stores in boat mode in a weird position. And there's that. We got a little red there. Red is great. You got the Targetmaster. I'll get into him in a minute. Show you how to transform it. It is wonderful. Like, as a figure, it's great. And when I do articulation, well, you know what? I'll do it in a bit. So there's will be chapters in the description, of course. This may be a long one. You got the card, tech specs, all that good stuff. Y'all know what's going on with that. You got the book that I didn't even open. I don't know. Matter of fact, let me look and see. In the book, they don't even have the Targetmaster in his hand. You get a flight stand piece that goes on their stands, which I don't like their stands. Their stands are okay, but not the greatest. You get faces. So you have this face. They're not too different. The only difference is kind of like the eyes and little, I guess, emotive. Like, these two faces, I can't even tell the difference, really. I mean, just the eyes are squinting a little bit. He's crying here. I mean, I don't know if that's crying, but he's doing something. And here he has an open mouth, but they're not too different from the face that comes on him. I think I'm just going to leave the face on him. You can see his face that's on him. Just cool. And you change these faces by lifting up here and then just pulling this out and you're good to go. Easy. Put that in there. All right, now there we go. Just put it down. So that's easy. That's how you change the faces. And of course the box, not too much. Got a little stuff back there if you want to see it. And that's it. And that's it for accessories. So let's get into Targetmaster. He's a good figure. You see his face fully painted in detail, detailed head and everything. I think it's way better than any of the other Targetmasters they had. Here's their, and he's big. I think this Targetmaster was an afterthought. I think they made the Targetmaster maybe for a different figure and scrapped that. And then I don't know if it's accurate to his Targetmaster. I mean, I hope it is. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll find some pictures. You know how I do. But here is, I think this is Cyclonus Targetmaster. And you see night and day. Like they definitely up. And I mean, they're different styles, but still you can tell, like you can see it. You can see the design choices. And this is just painted wonderfully. And it's bigger. And I compare to other Targetmaster, which is this is a Targetmaster from X-Transbot's version. And they're about the same. They look the same in the face. So I'm assuming it's proper. If I didn't put a picture up, I'm assuming it's accurate. So let's just go over this real quick. He does have a little bit of side to side. He goes up. He goes up somewhat. That's not up, down. Arms. He can get up past 90 degrees. That's a transformation shoulder. Spins all the way around. Does he have bicep? No, he doesn't have bicep. However, he has elbow that gets you more than 90 degrees. He has an ab crunch. And it's an ab crunch because his waist bend for transformation is down here. So I don't think this has anything to do with his ab crunch. Like this is actually an ab crunch. And then his waist can bend on this area right here. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. His arms don't really do anything. Or I should say his hands. They do have a hole in it. I wish he came with a little gun or something. But he doesn't. Legs, he can get the hurdles fully. He can get the splits, not too much. This gun back here moves somewhat. It doesn't move out the way. Should have collapsed or something maybe if they were going to do all this. Knees are more than 90. He has thigh swivel up here. And his toes don't go up and down, but they do have a rocker. And pretty good rocker. And they even have, you can use these as heel spurs if you want. I don't think you need them for this little guy. So let's transform him real quick. Move this up and then move this down. There's a peg there that pegs in there. Again, same thing. Move that up, move this down. Peg that pegs in the underarm, in the armpit. And you gotta kind of move it out like that. Now this is where you move the waist right here. Move it down here. That's why I was saying this is like a proper waist bend, because this is where you move the transformation. So they didn't put that waist in there for transformation. You want to move these out and around and down. Move this out, around, down. And it's going to go, they're going to meet each other, but there's no tip there, no tab, the tab I'm in. And then move this out, and then these kind of hook on to here, but you got to push it up first in order to make sure this is straight. I kind of bend it just so you can get up and make sure. Okay. Make sure this is all the way, and then this is straight. So then when you move that, you kind of get it past all of that, And then I move this down to fill in that and to keep the barrel there where you need it. And then I kind of move this down just to connect it better, so it's not like coming out. Move that down. And I tried everything. This came out. And this is basically the Targetmaster, which it sucks. And this is not long enough to fit in his hand. He just has to hold it. And here he is, so you know I'm telling the truth. The tab is not far enough down, so let's set him to the side. Let's do comparisons for him. Of course, if you see my comparison video with him and X-Transbots, this is X-Transbots. This is the second version. I don't think I mentioned that in my video, my comparison video. This is the darker blue version. They had a lighter blue version. Neither of them was this color. This is perfect to me, this color. And just the paint is magnificent. So there you go with that. And he is taller. Fanstoys is taller. But who you probably really want to see him with, Fanstoys Cyclonus, which is probably one of the best figures Fanstoys ever came out with, besides mine having a scratch right there. I tried to contact Fanstoys to get a replacement chest, to no avail. I probably should have went through my retailer, but it's been so long now, I don't know. It does irk me at times every time I see it, actually. And you have Galvatron. So you see, like, they just look great together. Great, great, great. Let's move it along. Move it along. Wings do have some articulation, even though the backpack gets in the way of the articulation, and it's on a really flimsy arm. That plastic that it's on, I don't know why. Like, that's probably the only part that I'm like, maybe they used it because it does move a lot. So maybe it's a softer plastic that have less a chance of breaking, and it's not painted. So that's, I mean, I don't need it painted, but probably so it don't scratch up. But you can move this down. But like I said, it is, and when I say down, I mean the articulation, and it's on a ratchet. And it can go all the way. It can go up farther than here, but it starts to hit all of this. Yeah, it hits all of that, so it's not the greatest thing. But you can, you know, if you want it lower, you can make it lower. If you think that's, you know, if you like that look better, or, I mean, I like this better. It's more cartoonish, I guess. And, oh, he's not even straight up. I had his ab crunch, so you saw his ab crunch. Let's get on with the articulation. He goes up like way majorly, but not down too far. It's hard to get his head all the way around. You can get him like this, and his beard, but his beard, you do have to lift it up because his beard gets in the way and hits his collar. So that's the price you pay for being cool. I know. And his arms move a gripe, I guess. I mean, it's like a nitpick, but his arms aren't on ratchets and they feel kind of loose. It doesn't, he still holds his gun, but it feels loose. And I don't know if that will wear over time or not. I'm not sure. But then you can get out more than 90, and that's on a ratchet. That's cool. You get his elbow, that I think because of paint is pretty tight, but you do get more than 90 degrees. So that's great. You got his hand, bicep swivel. Bicep swivel here, right there. Sculpt is phenomenal to me. You move his hands like this. I was just saying that because of how the bicep is. It's like seamless, but then you can still move it. It almost looks like it's fused to this ball. Hands, like the pink is phenomenal. Paint's phenomenal. Like that's a no-brainer. Paint's phenomenal. The pink is nice. He has every knuckle that you should have. And I have it curled up because when I go into transformation. That's where you want it. Again, you can spin this around, up and down. He has an ab crunch about that much. Even with all of this mess, he still can get around. Watch the wings though with your arm. If you're spinning them all the way around, he can get all the way around. Skirts go up. They do go up a little bit on the side, not a whole lot, but he has ratchets that get straight out, ratchets back that aren't. I don't know if it's because of the, I think it's because of the leg. So you get, yeah, he's not hurling anything. No Olympics for him. Out to the side is about there. So he also isn't doing no James Brown impressions. Get that down. He has a swivel up here for his thigh swivel. Knees, soft ratchets, they get you full range, double jointed. One gripe is the knees are pretty soft. Like, they're really soft. Just mentioning it, it hasn't caused the issue for me, so I don't know if it will for somebody or what. Also here's not the greatest connection, even with all this stuff right and pegged in. I know at first this part right here, and I'll show it during transformation, it was like kind of down, so it wasn't all the way in here, so it was wobbly. It was real wobbly, so I got kind of nervous. But once you get that tight, it stays right, but it's still not the greatest connection there. Feet, he has full rocker. His toe can go down almost all the way. Also, the back part, his front toe goes down and the back part goes down. I don't know the last time I've seen that. He has these things that not really heel spurs, I don't think, but I pull them out because they're just extra stuff. But they are independent and you can have them in. And I think that's it for articulation. So let's get into transformation, which isn't that crazy. It's going to look nuts, but it's not that bad. Handle these legs first. Flip this in, pull this out if you haven't done so. Pull this down, flip this around, put this in here. Put this down, flip this around, get it in here like that. Now, you want to separate right here. I'm going to be using a spudger a lot because it's just faster. So you kind of unpeg that and then you can slide this back. It's on a sliding joint. And I try to put it in there and push it back. So then you can move this way and then you can push it back that way. Do the same over here. Put it in here. It's not really moving this piece, so be careful because it is kind of flimsy. You're moving this piece right here. So move that back as far as you can. And then you slide that this way, and then you move it back out. I think it moved. Yeah, it moved. Then you want to unlock this right here. Get this out. You can move this up, spin this around, and just leave it like that. Now get this out. This is kind of on a slider. So when you move it out, you can pull it out like that and you get a little bit more clearance. You can pull all this stuff out of here and just leave it there like that. Now you got this, push this in. Now move this up here. You're going to accordion, but when you get it like right here, you want to deal with these. Don't do it before, because if you move these before, you will scrape up this, probably this right here. So you untab it, it's on a double hinge, move it in like that. Now it's going in. You push it forward, peg it in. Again, over here, you push it forward, and peg it in, and then you can move this like where it needs to be. That's where it needs to be at, like that. This is out here. Make sure these are out. Then you can move this down, and then you can close this. Make sure this is up a little bit so you can get it closed. You can close it like that, and then tab it in there. And then you got this. This just goes in, is really a filler space. So just push that in there like that, and it kind of goes down, and then at like a, not a 90-degree angle, but maybe 85. And that's it right there. So you got that. You do the same thing over here. Hopefully I showed it well, but I will try again. Open this up. Move this. Move this foot. I like to spin the foot now, so I don't deal with none of this stuff. Then you pull this out, unfurl it, move this out, all this stuff, get it around all that stuff, and then push this in. Make sure you push that in, and then you're moving this up. Again, you want to move these things. So unpeg it. Let me get the, you can do it with your hand, but it's just easier for me to do it both sides. Push it forward and peg it back in. Push this side forward and peg it in all the way tight. And then you can move this down. Then close this tight, lock it. And now you have it like this. You can, same thing over here with spurs. If you didn't do it, then you push that in, not all the way, damn it, push that in like that. It's basically a space filler. So you see how that goes in like that. Now what you want to do, you're going to want to get these hips down. So unpeg this right here, pull that down, pull this out. The hips are pegged here. They're going to move closer together is what you want. Let's move them closer together. Turn that around. Make sure they're together like this. And it's kind of hard to not have them messed up because they got to go in these two. So put that there in them two, those two, and then put this back up in there and lock it in. Then you can lock these together just back here. It's just a over under type of thing. Make sure you have this stuff right. That's all. Then you can move this together. All this stuff. That's probably the most frustrating part. It's not hard. It's just getting everything lined up right. And you know, that's always, it reminds me of Blur. Unpeg this right here. All of this. You're going to unpeg the back, which is the backpack, and let it flop. Now you're going to want to get these arms. Make sure the fists are balled up. Ball up the fists. Right here. Move this down. Now, for this section here, to get these arms right, move that back. Move this up. It's locking in the arms. Let me get a spudger. Move that up like that. That up. Move this right here out. And move this down. Kind of like that, and push it in. See how that is? You can see that. Push that in, and then move this out and down, and it should go in as well if all this is in correctly. you should be able to just stick this up in there. Then move this down, flip this back, flip this down, and move that out or back in to lock that in. Same thing over here, so we're going to do something different. So over here, you unhook this, and the backpack is on this little, it locks in with the arm. So you just want to take this little piece and take it off, because then you can do the rest like you did over there. Pull this out, pull this down and in. Move this. After you unlock this backpack, you can move this down and out. You just pull all this. Oh, you can't even see that. What I did after that, I just pulled the head and everything out of here. So then there's even more room in the body part. You can move this arm back down, coordinate it down like this. Trying to show it from a different angle so you can see what it looks like. Put it in there like that, and this is where the arms will be. Try to keep all this straight. Then you can close this, and close that. Now you want to move this chest out. Once you move this out, you get clearance right here. This piece is on a slider, so you want to kind of slide it all the way out as far as it is. I think it's as far as it goes. You can move these side pieces that the head tabs on. You can move them down. Then you move this around and you leave it like this, and you slide it forward. You got all this mess. So if this keeps moving on you, you can lock this in place just so the waist doesn't move around. It's a tab right here that tabs into here. Coming through. It'll probably come out again, but I mean, you can just do it for now. So now you want to, I don't know why I closed this, because you want to get this back in. So just move this back, move this up, and situate it back into where is the locking mechanism. It's just a peg that goes through this, and then you can lock this back right there. And now you have this. So now with this like this, you can spin this over and you see it'll kind of start forming. So spin that over. This is back here. This right here, you want to turn this around. But before you do that, you want to get all this together. So move this out, move this out. Kind of unpeg it to get this free. Then you see all this armature. You can move this out here, move these out just so you can get access to all this. Now you want to move this, get this on this armature. You go like this, and then you move it like this. Do that again. It's just this armature. So you just flip it around. You kind of move it up here. Get this out the way, and best you can. And then you have it like this. These you can worry about in a little bit, but you kind of just do this part. Because then what you want to do is move this out of here like this. You can see it's starting to kind of form. So move this around here. It's on a like a slider that pulls out. I think it's on a slider. Oh, maybe it's not on the slider. But anyway, when you move it a certain way, you can get it spun all the way around like I just did. So then be careful. Make sure this is all the way up and you got this like this. And then when you do this, you can tab this together. All of this up here will tab together. Just like that. So then you're starting to see what's going on. Now this, you can get the arm, make sure the arms are okay. Like get the arms staying where you need it to go. Then you can move this in like this. Move that down. And this rests right there. That little, there's a little tab right there that rests. And here's the same thing. Get this, if it's not straight, you got to make it straight. And there we go. Kind of get this in there like this, like that. And you can get that together. You can move these around just for now, just because. Now for this piece, hopefully I can show it well. You want all this back, but you're going to get this around this. So before doing that, you want to get this head together. So let me just put it like that for now. Now this head, when I first did it, I did rip this piece off right here. So if that falls off, you know where it is. So you pull this out, it's tabbed in there. Then you want to pull this apart. This piece, you can see it almost coming off again. It'll pull there. Now his head, you want to move up almost, and then this part right here, this little gray piece, will slide out. Like I wasn't doing that right at first, and I used Peak's video to make sure I was doing it right. But you gotta kind of pull it out. It's hard to pull out, and you gotta kind of, let me see if I can do it like this and pull this out all the way. There's little ridges on the side for you to grab it, but it's not the greatest, but it does pull out, if you can see that. And then you can move this down and it pulls in. Now this is on this mechanism, so you can move that around like that and push that in, because it's like this the false head. So then you move that out, flip this back in, and put all that together. And that's pretty much how it's going to be. Move this stuff around. Now this can get tricky because you want to move this around, move this head up, and you can see it's kind of move all this back if you can, because you can see this stuff will go underneath, and it kind of goes underneath and pegs together right here. Hard to see right there. So you can peg that together, but that's not your main focus. Main focus is getting these things right. And you can kind of put that in there like that, and again over here, put that in there like that, and it starts coming together. This even pegged in kind of by itself. And this pegs together right here, right there. There we go. I don't know if you saw that. I hope you did. And the gimmick right here is just this. Like, you just want to do all this. I'm not going to do it fully. And then it has his head up, and you just go like that and get this stuff together. And then he can fly. Then he can fly with his head up. So that's like the gimmick. I'm not going to show it fully because it's a pain. I'm not. But let's put all this stuff back together. Then get this here. And then you just unfold this flat. And then you unfold this. And it's a matter of getting all this stuff tabbed in. Then after you got all this, there's some, you can pull them out, but it's kind of hard to do it before. But then just kind of pull this out and flip this out like that. You see them things? Like pull this out. Try not to scrape up nothing. Pull this out here. And it's got to go around here. So flip that out all the way. Flip this down here. Flip this out like this all the way. Pegs together, end pegs that under the head. It's kind of a pain, but it's cool. It's cool. And then you put all this down here, and it kind of hides all that stuff. Last but not least is these. Make sure these are out, because last time I did it, they weren't. Then you just get this together. Pull that right there. Push this right here. Same thing over here. If you have it right, it'll go in easy. And voila. Cosmic boat mode. So if you've done this right and you got the middle part right here, you can insert these two things, a clip on to here, and this will go in here. Then it goes in there, and then you can put it on the flight stand if that's what you want. And also, which is weird, this goes in here. This connects to the stand. Doesn't go in his hand, but connects to the stand. And you can put the gun, fold this up and put the gun here. It just goes by the magazine into here, which I think that's weird too. But if you have it on the stand, it's not. But if you have the Targetmaster in, it doesn't look like it will fit in the stand, because this is where the stand goes. I don't have a stand, so I can't really tell you what it does. But yeah, that's it for his space mode. And yeah, it looks the part. I mean, ain't much to say about it. It's got the red accents, which is really nice. Got the different color blues in the back. This, I couldn't get this before. I'm not sure if it goes on the outside or on the inside. To tell you the honest, to be honest, I should say. Yeah, I'm just not sure, because I couldn't get it. But it doesn't look bad to me. It doesn't look any more gappy than anywhere else. I do like how clean it is. Super clean. Like I said, it's not difficult to get there. I'm not sure. It depends on your transformation prowess, I guess. But at the same time, like I said, it looks more difficult than it is. All right. So thanks for joining me for this review. If you're here, I'm going back to robot in a different video, so look out for that video if you need help with that. All right, and I will get up with you in the next one. I thank you for watching and joining me. Please share and subscribe and do all that stuff. I'm trying to make it to 10K by the end of the year. We'll see. Try to get me there. All right, it's free. Share it. It's free. Like it. It's free. Subscribing is free. All right. Peace.
You know, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you're alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.